Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. What's left? What's there left? Paris Saint Germain have made 3 signings so far. 2 of them, only small details left. Zabarnyi, we're set to make a 3rd bid. I'll report on it when we have done it. Chevalier, basically we have agreed everything, just small details left. We also signed another goalkeeper, like a 4th choice keeper. He was for free. It was just an opportunity. So we have made 3 signings, but it's actually only 1 signing. The 4th keeper is not gonna. That's not a signing. He's not gonna have any impact on the season next season. And Chevalier is a replacement for Donnarumma. So the only signing we're making is Zabarnyi. Zabarnyi, though, important profile-wise, young, raw-footed centre-back. We needed this. We looked into it. Marquinhos is getting older, and sometimes not performing at the level we expect from him. So Zabarnyi was a needed acquisition to Paris Saint Germain. But as you saw by the question at the beginning of the video, what is left? What is left for Paris Saint Germain in this transfer window? And recently they've come out some reports. It was one report PSG Luis Enrique does not want to back up Ryback, and I don't understand. Like, we were so fortunate with no injuries last season and everything. We played everyone in between 50 to 75% of minutes, but we gotta make some signings, especially when the depth was not good enough. I don't know if Lucas Beraldo, if I want to continue the Lucas Beraldo experiment, for example. We don't know about Lucas Hernandez, the level that he will come back to. These are 2 bench players that we have that I'm not trusting in. Presnel Kimpembe, we don't even have to go into. Going into the midfield, Warren Zara Emre has not been performing at a level where I trust him even as a backup into the midfield. If João Neves is missing a big game, like he's going to miss potentially the UEFA Super Cup versus Spurs, I'm not trusting Warren that much to play that game. I've also seen, like, the reports mentioned Luis wants to play Warren and Neves out of position as a right back, and Warren has been struggling. I don't want him to play out of position. It doesn't make any sense. And why can't Warren? Warren, you're earning so much money, man. Get an ego out of that and tell Lucho, I don't want to play right back anymore. I don't understand. So, a backup right back, that's been clear for every single Paris Saint Germain supporter for a while, especially with Achraf Hakimi being away for AFCON in between at the end of December, beginning of January. We need a backup. Hakimi played a lot of minutes last season. I want him to play less than that. Yes, he's an athletic specimen and can play so many more games, but especially in the last 3 years, he's played at the Olympics in between, the World Cup in between. He's barely had any break. Club World Cup this year as well. So please, let us get a backup right back. Looking at the defensive side on the left side, as I mentioned with Beraldo and Lucas, maybe we should look into something like a backup on the left side as well. There are problems in this team that nobody wants to acknowledge just because we won the Champions League and performed so well. Yes, but, we got to get stronger. We got to get stronger into next year, especially when, going into the UCL next season, the favorites are still PSG, Barca, Liverpool, just like last season. But then all the other teams, Madrid have gotten stronger, Bayern will get stronger, Liverpool obviously got stronger, Barca got stronger. We got to make some signings. There are some reports saying, PSG, it would be enough for them with Zabarnyi and Chevalier. Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Then, looking into the midfield, yes, I've seen reports about Doué will play more in midfield next season. Cinema Yulu, we don't want to hamper his evolution, and I completely agree with that. But get someone else. Get someone else. I've mentioned Baleba. I think Baleba would be an amazing signing for Paris Saint Germain. And maybe we are waiting. That's the thing. Just because we haven't made anything and it's 1 month left, it doesn't mean we won't do anything. Majority of the signings we've made in recent windows is in August. That's when we usually do our job. That's when Luis Campos does his job. I think Desiree Doué, João Neves, and Pacho all were in August, so at the end of July. So I'm expecting some more signings. Midfield, as I said, Baleba will be perfect. Maybe there are some other good options as well. I've seen some reports to Thuram. Maybe I would much rather go for Baleba, though. And then going up to attack. Ousmane Dembélé, I can trust. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, I can trust. Desiree Doué, I can trust. But as I said, he will get more minutes into the midfield next season. And Bradley Barcola, I trust. I don't trust Gonçalo Ramos, and I don't trust Kangeli, especially when he's always played out of position. Those 2 people got to be moved on. But PSG is doing this gimmick where we want to have as much money back as possible, and we're asking for 50 million for Gonçalo. Nobody's paying that. Nobody's paying that. So they're just going to be part of the squad rotation, even though they're not good enough. I would sell Gonçalo Ramos and Magnus and Kangeli and get in Magnus Akhliouche from Monaco and Rodrigo Mora. They will have a backup false line and someone that can actually play potentially the Dembélé profile. Maybe someone else plays there. And then Magnus Akhliouche. We badly need a right winger. The only right winger we have in this team is Ousmane Dembélé, who's been playing false line this entire time. We got to make some signings. Once again, I don't like the wokeness from the Paris Saint Germain management. It's been like this for ever since, you know, Campos and Lucha came in, where I don't know, they just have high expectations. We saw what happened last season. We saw what happened last season in the Champions League group stage. And then, you know, the entire team had to up, you know, so many levels. Desiree Doué came into form, and then Khvichak Kvaratskhelia was signed in January. I don't want that to happen again. When it comes to the starting 11, I'm really happy with it. But it's the bench. As I mentioned, in midfield, I like Mayula, but I can't trust him. We have Fabian Ruiz, we have Vitinha, we have João Neves. Get me someone else I can trust. And then the defense we've already discussed, and then the attack as well. We need to strengthen. These are the signings that need to be made. You guys let me know in the comments down below, what players would you guys sign? Because I would sign, as I've said this since the beginning of the summer transfer window, at least 6 signings have to be made. And there I'm including the Fortress keeper we bought. I did not include Chevalier because I said centre-back, backup right-back, midfielder, 2 attackers. And then you can say both of the goalkeepers take 1 spot each. That's how I feel. Those are the signings we got to make. We need to strengthen. I want to win the Champions League next season. Or at least compete for it extremely strongly. And at the moment, you know, as I said, last season we were extremely fortunate with no injuries. I don't know if we'll be that again. Imagine a Dembo's injury. Imagine a Vitinha injury. I don't want to imagine the worst. I don't want to hope for the worst, but you always got to be prepared for the worst. And that's what we're not going into next season. Hakimi needs someone. Nuno Mendes, I don't want to see this Beraldo Lucas Hernandez. I said, when it comes to Lucas, I'm still giving him a bit of leeway because he came back from the 3rd ACL, clearly unfit. Now he's had the summer. He will have a cheeky preseason. Let's see how Lucas Hernandez does. But Lucas Beraldo, last season was supposed to be the season where he takes a huge leap. But it was William Pacho coming without any experience that took that amazing leap. And if Beraldo just can't do that, that just means he's not good enough to represent Paris Saint Germain. We got to move on. We got to move on. We saw Beraldo versus Chelsea. We saw him versus Madrid. But as I said in that live stream, I needed to see more consistently. So I think I always want to look at the best example out of PSG. And yes, there's stuff we can fix. And I don't like how this management once again is trying to just brainwash his fan base, saying everything is all right, everything is calm. And you know what? With time, I'm looking more fondly and positively into the Chevalier signing than I was, you know, when the reports broke out. We got to strengthen more. This is not enough. This is not enough. And I'm calmer than I was last year because I'm expecting more from Paris Saint Germain in this transfer window. It would be absolutely embarrassing if our transfer window is Chevalier, Zabarnyi, and that Marin, or whoever that 4th choice goalkeeper was. So that's what I'm expecting. Let me know in the comments down below. What signings are you expecting to be made? We have a lot of money. We have an insane amount of money from the Club World Cup, from the Champions League, from departures. We're even selling more. If you can sell Kangeli and Gonçalo as well, get a great amount of money. Maybe sell Colomwani as well. There's so much money to be made. There's absolutely no excuses apart from the management once again being clueless like last season and going in weaker than they should be because of money. Like, we've become more of a business entity than an actual football club. Just look at how we're treating Donnarumma. Just business. Just business at the end of the day. All right, if it's just business, make some great business. But yeah, that's me from boy PSGINT. Hopefully, guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez, Paris.